DB Dave Benny here alongside Rosina Foster. We are your wake-up call this morning at 6:30 a.m. Oklahoma time. We're coming to you live from Gillis Rother Soccer Complex in Norman, Oklahoma. This is going to be the resumption of the quarterfinal game that was suspended yesterday, one batter into the game due to excessive heat. And that's the reason we're back here early this morning, 6:30 game time. We are about to get started again. It's the Houston Hurricanes and the BSO Philly Fire. The BSO Philly Fire are the number 4 seed. They got here with a win over the Cleveland Scrappers, while the Houston Hurricanes shocked the beatball world, knocking off the 5th seed Bayou City Heat. Their crosstown rivals, 20-16. If you remember yesterday, we were one batter into the game. Justin Rhymes led off the game with a run for the Philly Fire, and then the game was called to a stop because of an excessive heat warning, and we couldn't resume yesterday, so we're picking it up bright and early this morning, Rosina.
Yeah, so we did have the Philly Fire had one at bat and one run in, so that is where we will pick up. We have both teams out here now getting stretched out, some early practices and ready to go. The only change that I see on the Philly Fire team is they have switched their jerseys over from yesterday. Not a big surprise there. They have their gray jerseys on with the red-orange Philly Fire logo on it that has the beat ball with flames out behind it. They're all getting all jazzed up. We're waiting for the rest of the volunteers and scorekeepers early this morning. It is a little bit, even though it is early this morning, it's a nice breezy cool. We haven't hit those high temps yet. Field does not seem to have any dew on it, so I'm assuming it's going to be the same fast rolling pace for the ball.
This is the nicest weather conditions we've had all week here at 6:30 in the morning. It's cool. It's probably upper 70s, I'd say, maybe. Nice little breeze. Now, we haven't had a lot of humidity this week, but what you do think about this early when you have an early game time like this is dew and damps on the field and whether or not the ball will be a little bit moist. And you tell your defense, 2 hands on the ball. Be careful when you pick it up so that you don't lose control of it. And so I'm sure they'll have that in mind. Now, the reason for the early start is so that we can try to stay on schedule here as these games continue today. So what's going to happen is, since many of the games were already in progress yesterday when play was suspended, these first games will continue under regular rules. Now, when the 8:30 slate of games get going, we're going to go to a 2-hour and 15-minute time limit. No new inning can start past the 2-hour and 15-minute mark. And that will be the rules to live by for the rest of today, at least. And then we'll just have to see what happens this afternoon, whether we get into that same extreme heat situation, or fingers crossed, maybe we don't get there and everything stays on schedule. So right now, we're planning games. We finished these games here this morning. You got an 8:30 start time, 11:30 start time, and a 2:30 start time. The backup plan would be, if play gets suspended again, we'll have a very irregular 9 p.m. under the lights game tonight. So we'll just have to see what happens.
So we do have our umpire here, and it looks like we have our base runner, but we, again, are still waiting on scorekeeper.
Yep, so we need all of our officials here to get going, and it was supposed to start at 6:30, so we're already going to be off to a little bit of a late start as we're waiting for our scorekeepers, and that's an interesting sound I haven't heard yet at the park before, a train whistle.
Yeah, probably only early in the morning, or we've been so late that we had a lot going on and have not heard it. Looks like the Hurricanes are patiently waiting on their bench, sitting while most of the Philly Fire is up and moving around. Wondering if that's going to keep them nice and limber this early in the morning when it's just a little bit cooler and it might be a little bit rougher on muscles for these players.
To review some of the other action from yesterday and where we're at in the bracket, there are other games. The winners bracket quarterfinal games are going to be going on and resuming here this morning. The Indy Edge and the Boston Renegades, that's your number 1 seed versus your number 9 seed. We had the Renegades yesterday. They looked in their first game, they looked really good against the Chicago Comets. The Indy Edge were ahead 13-4 in that game in the second inning when play was suspended. The Indy Thunder and Gateway Archers will play. That's the number 3 versus number 6 seed. That game had not started yet. The San Antonio Jets and New Jersey Titans are another quarterfinal game. The Titans, the 10 seed, they pulled an upset over Austin to get to that game. The Jets were ahead 13-9 in that game when play was suspended. And of course, right here, the number 4 against the number 12, Philly and Houston, and it's 1-0 Philly when we get going.
So we have a few more of the Hurricanes are now starting to get up and moving. I think they're watching the Philly Fire having a little bit of fun over here, all doing the electric slide out on the field, trying to stay up and limber as they all come in, the last of them from their batting practice at the back end of the field. So the Hurricanes are getting up, moving. We have captains speaking and coaches with the umpire. And it looks like oh, no, that is not our scorekeeper. That is the Philly Fire scorekeeper. So still patiently waiting for our scorekeeper, official scorekeeper, as we do need them.
Now, if you recall, the Philly Fire are the visitors, so they're going to be up to bat, resuming their top of the first. The Houston Hurricanes will be in the field, and they are the home team. That is by virtue of a coin flip. I know it sounds a little counterintuitive because the Hurricanes are the lower seed in this game, but they are the home team by virtue of a coin toss. The winner of this game will play the winner of the Indy Edge and Boston Renegades at 8:30, and the winner of the Indy Thunder and Gateway Archers will play the winner of San Antonio and New Jersey. We will have an 8:30 semifinal game for you, and we believe it'll be the bottom half of that bracket. So the winners of San Antonio and New Jersey against the winner of the Thunder and Archers. That's what you will see here next once we get this game going and get it in the books.
So, DV, in past experiences from when you had been playing, did you ever have a day where you had to do 4 games in one day?
Not 4 games in one day, but we did have a situation in Rochester, New York in 2015 where they ran out of time on Friday to get the final winners bracket game, the third place game, if you will, in, and so we got that one going about 7 o'clock on Championship Saturday morning. I played in that game. I was with the RHI Extreme. We had to play Taiwan bright and early on Saturday morning to decide who was going to play in the championship game. That did not go well for the RHI Extreme. Taiwan beat us pretty handily before going on and falling to the Austin Blackhawks. So I've been out at this time of a morning for a World Series game. Never played 4 in one day that I can recall at the World Series, but we did essentially see that happen last year with the San Antonio Jets last year on Friday when they had to finish a game first thing Friday morning, right? Yep, and then play 3 more, and they won them all to get to the championship game.
Yeah, definitely, especially if we do not have a heat advisory today. I would think that is going to have a definite toll on some of these players as they play 6:30, 8:30, 11:30, and 2:30 if the heat does not maintain. That last 2:30 game is going to be a pretty exhausting game. Most of these people probably have not had breakfast yet. They're running on a lot of adrenaline. Some of that has starting to taper off this far in. They're still excited, but just the exhaustion of day after day games, that's got to definitely take a toll.
Well, and that adds the extra incentive for these quarterfinal winners bracket teams that if you keep winning, you can shorten your road. If the winner of this game will play at 8:30, if you win that 8:30 game, you're done until tomorrow winter bracket final, or undefeated Friday game as they call it, you're done till 11:30 tomorrow, and you can sit back and not have to worry about the schedule or the heat or anything like that. And so, win and keep winning. The more you win in a double elimination tournament, the less games you have to play. Where it gets tough is for the teams that either dropped a game yesterday or for the ones that don't win this first game here this morning. Then it becomes, like you said, a very long road.
So we do have our scorekeeper has arrived, just getting paperwork set up and going over everything before we can officially restart this game. Have both teams now settling down, getting their people ready to go out onto the field or start organizing their batting order.
And in case you forgot from yesterday or you've just tuned in this morning, again, the Philly Fire have a 1-0 lead when we resume. Justin Rhines came up and scored to lead off the game, and that's where we stopped. So it is 1-0 Philly, and we expect Tyler Rodriguez would be the first batter when we get going, the second batter in the Philly Fire lineup. Their lineup again is Justin Rhines leading off, Tyler Rodriguez batting second, John Margis third, followed by Scott Hogwood fourth, Nick Silver, and Casey Kraus. The Fire have scoring capability at all points in their batting order, and they've got defensive capability at every position on the field, and that's why they are one of the favorites in this tournament. The Houston Hurricanes, a little bit of an unknown. I'll be quite honest with you. I didn't expect to see them in this game. They played a really good game against Bayou City, and I'd heard that the Bayou City Heat started out a little bit slow. The Hurricanes jumped all over them, almost had them in the run rule, and then Bayou City started to get it together, and they made a comeback, but they ran out of outs to play with, and they fell 20-16 in what has been so far the biggest upset of the tournament. So here the Hurricanes are. Don't count them out, and they could really, really shock the world if they can win another one here.
So we have both teams are now setting up on their lines. Again, we do have Hurricanes on the third base line and Philly Fire on the first base. They're lining up for their mask check before we get started. So the ump is headed out to the Hurricane side first. Going to check all of the blindfolds. Stepping up to the line.
So they'll inspect each player in the lineup that's standing there on the line to make sure that their blindfold is in place, that it's fastened properly, and that there's no chance that anything that could assist in the way of vision would be getting through that blindfold. And, of course, all players, no matter what their level of vision is, they are all required to wear a blindfold to level the playing field. So there's no disparity between those who have partial vision and those like myself who really can't see anything, although I can see well enough to tell you it has brightened up considerably out here just in the few minutes we've been on the air as the sun comes up over Norman, Oklahoma. I'll tell you what, despite the time of day, I'm a little bit fired up here.
I'm starting to definitely get fired up. It's not so hot. It's not such a drag. We do have the Hurricanes starting to set up out in the field their defense. So, and absolutely with Tyler Rodriguez coming up to home plate, it's much cooler. I'm hoping to see actually a pretty fast-paced game here, maybe moving off. I mean, it's cooler, it's a little easier. I know they might be tired, but it's fresh and not quite being depleted so quickly.
Well, they might have felt tired when they got out here to the park just because of the time of day, but I guarantee you, once they get the blood flowing and once they get into this game, they'll forget what time of day it is. They'll forget about the short turnaround and the competitive fire and the adrenaline will take over, and I think we'll see a good beat ball game. The Houston Hurricanes are in their second year of existence. They placed 11th at last year's World Series. Yesterday's win over Bayou City, no question the biggest win in Houston Hurricanes history, and they're just looking now to add to that as we go into this winner's bracket quarterfinal. There's still 8 teams out there that haven't lost yet in the double elimination tournament, and we will be down to 4 on the winner's side come 8:30 this morning.
So we do have Pat Krause out there, pitcher for the Fire. A couple tosses there back and forth with the catcher. Just getting a feel for that this early in the morning.
Pat Krause is in his 2nd year as the Philly Fire pitcher. He's only been doing this now for 2 seasons, but you wouldn't know it to watch him. He is very accurate. Not a lot of strikeouts when they're on their game. And here we go as Kemp Price, our umpire, asks for a base check. We're about to get this underway.
First, going to go double check the wires down here.
Well, wouldn't you know? A delay for a first base wire check. I think we had that yesterday as well. And they'll make sure that gets squared away.
Tyler's got one pink arm sleeve up on his elbow there as he's waiting. You can hear the ball being tossed back and forth.
Tyler, in his 2nd season with the Philly Fire, brought all that World Championship experience over from the Indy Thunder, where he was a part of, well, he was on the field for 4 of their championships. The only reason he missed the 5th one is because he got injured a couple weeks before the World Series in 2021. Came back last year and had a great year with the Fire, was an all-star, and he's having a great year this year. He's playing every bit at the level that he did when he was a starter for the Indy Thunder's championship team.
So we do have, I believe, a new first base on its way.
So they're going to not only have to, so it's not just a wire, they're going to have to, it sounds like, replace the base.
Umpires. Oh, he's going to try again. We're going to see if we can get it checked. They might have corrected some of the issue.
So we'll tell you, there were 2 more home runs yesterday that were hit and a double play that was made.
Okay, so we do have the base situation clear, and we are ready to play.
All right, here's Tyler. We're ready to go.
It's going to be a little under the bat there. Very low under the bat. It dropped almost on just at the back of the plate.
So sometimes it's not just the players. Sometimes the pitchers, it takes a little while to get into the groove when you have an early start like this too.
Nice, going to be a little bouncing grounder over into right field. They're coming running up for it. Are they going to have it in time? He is safe. That's going to give another run for the Fire.
He beat that out. He went to the right field side on the ground and he beat that out. So that's, something we mention all the time. When you're the underdog team and you get ground balls hit at you, you got to pick them up if you can. 2-0 Philly.
That would have been Willie Harrelson out there short right. This is going to bring John Margist up to bat for the Fire.
The Philly Fire only have 1 loss on the season, and it was in Indianapolis to the Indy Thunder. The Fire were leading that game at one point by 11 runs, and the Thunder came all the way back in their home tournament and beat them by a run. John Margist was not there for that, so they weren't at full strength, and that's their only loss of the season. They've won 7 in a row since, including winning the Beast of the East, the Big East Coast Tournament. They were undefeated in that one and beat Boston twice. So Philly Fire with a good resume coming into this World Series. They finished 4th here last year, looking to build on that.
Looks like we are changing out first base currently now.
Margist, one of the captains of this Philly Fire. The first time I saw John Margist, about a decade ago, he was with a team called the Southwest Slammers out of Arizona.
Yeah, you just want to stay down there and umpire.
A little joke there from the pitcher that Dump might need to stay at first base, but now we got that changed out. So things might improve. And we are ready for John at the bat. A little bit low under the swing. John feeling home plate to reset up. Swinging that up over the shoulder.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
Again, low.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
That's what's just barely going to be low on that one. A little closer. Gripping of the bat.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
Taking a pass.
Pat needs to bring the ball up a little bit.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
And again, low. That's going to be the first out for the Fire.
You never want to strike out your captain, but that's one down, and now we got a big man coming up to the plate here, Scott Hogwood. He is a slugger.
You definitely don't want to collide out in the field with Scott. He's also hustles and runs. You don't want to be in his way. Setting up his bat along the front of home plate and digging in that 1 foot.
You talk about family connections in this sport. Scott Hogwood, there's a bunch of Hogwoods on this team. 2 of his daughters are spotters for the Fire.
And bringing that bat back up over the shoulder.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
Oh, barely under the bat. That was a massive swing.
So he's got Lexi and Cam, who are spotters, and then Dakota is a player.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
Just barely under the bat.
Yeah, it's cool. He's got 4 daughters, and they're all named after cars.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
And just catching a little bit of meat on that one there. Bouncing right back to the catcher.
Kraus pitching quickly. Pat Kraus is trying to find his rhythm.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
And that's going to be another out for the Fire as they try to find their groove. This is going to bring Nick Silver up to bat. Those flashy purple flame socks.
A great equalizer in baseball. Strikeouts. And there's back-to-back strikeouts. So there's 2 on the board and 2 outs now. Nick Silver. Speedy Nick Silver.
Yeah, I've seen Dakota Hogwood play. Very impressive player.
She is. She's one of the better female players we've got in the league. She's not starting in this game, but when she gets in, she can be productive.
Oh, just under that.
Nick Silver's been around a little bit. Started with the St. Louis Firing Squad, played with the RHI Extreme, Indy Edge, Chicago Comets.
Nice, solid thunk. He stumbled as he ran. Twice he's stumbling, is trying to get down to the base. They're running for the ball. But he is going to be safe. That will put a run up and take them out of that slump. He stumbled. I don't know. The grass is not wet. I'm not sure if he's just not getting his footing. But 3 times he stumbled, went down on his hands, got up a few steps, stumbled down again, but he did make it to the base.
Boy. You know, and sometimes it's a balance thing, getting out of the box. Like you said, I can't imagine that it's slick enough that he slipped. You know, maybe he just wasn't quite balanced as he started out.
He was out of that box really fast. I think he might have just had more momentum than his feet were keeping up with the
Sometimes
the
your top half gets out ahead of your bottom half a little bit.
Yep, I definitely think that was probably more likely the case.
Especially in the early AM.
This brings us back up with Justin.
Casey Kraus.
Casey, sorry.
Casey Kraus, and he's having an MVP type season. He's their leading defender, and they've got him in this 6th spot turning the lineup, and he does it just about as well as anybody in the league.
And some vibrating sound issues there with first base. Still messing around with it. Just moving it around so that was sounds actually coming out of the speaker. Much stronger sound.
Casey did not bat much last season at all because he was dealing with a hand injury, so he played mostly defense. He's been hitting this year, and he's been hitting well. Hit over 700 at the Beast of the East tournament. Second leading hitter for this team this year behind Justin Rhines.
Took a pass on that.
And you've got a family connection here, as this is a father-son pitcher-batter combo.
Nice hard grounder over into left, past the first line, went right past their hands, and the second back up. Third one slides their body over, but it goes past their toes, so that'll be a run for Casey.
And what do you know? With 2 outs, Casey Krause turns the lineup. He's been doing it all season long. 4 on the board now for the Fire, and that'll bring back Justin Rhines at the top.
Some repositioning by the spotters out there for the Hurricanes team.
Well, they've been using Justin Rhines and Casey Krause as bookends in this lineup, and it has been it's been really dangerous.
And that 3 finally did go off.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
Another solid bouncing grounder over into left, far over there, scrambled. Not getting that quite in time.
And Ryan's one of the fastest players in the sport. He got down there quickly, and somebody's going to have to get out and cut off one of these ground balls for the Hurricanes. Otherwise, the Fire are going to make quick work of them. It's 5-0 already.
That was Alex Quick out there in short left, just not quite. Both those last ones that were runs were fairly close to the third baseline. They're just having to scramble from because they've moved over just a little bit closer to center.
Thank you. Thank you. Play ball.
This is Tyler back up for the Fire.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
A little bit high over the bat. Deep exhale.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
Oh, catching a little bit of meat on that. And you can see Tyler was ready to dash off to third.
Tyler's a very good contact hitter. Back when he was with the Thunder, he was Jared's best contact hitter. May not have always had the best batting average, but he was their best in terms of putting the ball in play.
Tyler had to stop a minute. Felt a yawn coming on.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
Oh, high up over the bat.
Well, let's see how he hits now with 3 strikes.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
Making connection is going to be a little grounder short over into left. Oh, he missed it with his hands and
That ball's got to be handled.
so yeah, he had it that little few seconds that he lost it on the first one is going to cost them another run.
That's 6 in the inning now for the Philly Fire. Only outs have been on strikeouts. The Hurricanes defense needs to tighten up here because not all of these balls have been, hard high shots. They're getting runs out of ground balls here.
Thank you. Thank you. Play. Here we go.
John winding that bat back up over the shoulder, gripping with the red gloves. Good connection, but it's off the very edge and flipping back behind. Casual, few low swings over the plate.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
And that's going to be a strike.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
Just a little low on the outer edge of the bat.
he struck out his first time, and they're still having a little bit of contact issues here.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
Took a pass.
Let's go. Set. Ready. Pitch.
And that is going to be another out for John. He's kind of a little angry as he reaches both hands up onto the bat in the center, and a little bit of anger there, but that will bring the Hurricanes up for their first chance at bat to try to recover.
Well, so the bad news is they got to work things out with Margist. He struck out twice in that inning. The good news for the Philly Fire is they put up a 6-pack, and they're off to a good start as the Hurricanes, and they are dual pitchers. Depending on who's up in the batting order, Kyle Burris and John Gonzalez will go to work on this Houston Hurricanes lineup.
So we do have both teams setting up on the line again for blindfold check. That was very quickly done for the Fire as they head out to the field while the ump goes to check on the Hurricanes.
Looks like the Hurricanes lineup will have the veteran John Parker leading off, and then Tim Cyphers batting second, and you have it from there.
They are on their way out. They're almost already set up out there for the Fire, just waiting for the last spotter to get out into left field, as this has our John Parker coming up.
Continuing with that lineup, Parker and Cyphers, and then if it stays as it was to start yesterday, you'll have John Marquez batting third, Willie Harrison, Alex Quick, and Roy Hutchins.
So John is at the plate and ready. He's got his red, white, and blue flag bandana on his head with a full set of padded pants there that he's wearing. Some good protection. You might envision he's taking a lot of dives out there on defense after the ball. Got Kyle Burris headed out there. He's got the ball ready to pitch. We do have the field check is good. And here we go for, John wants first again. Couple slow, easy, low swings over the plate. And it's ticked off. It's going to see, I think it's going to roll just barely fair.
No base.
No base went on, though.
Yep, now the base. So he's actually going to be pretty lucky there. He did not hear a base to run to, so he didn't know where to go. That was a short.
That was an equipment malfunction, so that won't count as anything.
Casey was up there all over that ball.
The front line for the Philly Fire is dynamic with Casey Krause and Tyler Rodriguez, and then Justin Rhines in deep left. He's one of the best in the business.
John back up at the plate. Couple low swings again, and ready for the pitch. Oh, bouncing right into center, almost hitting the pitcher as Tyler runs over to grab the ball, missing it, but Casey, and we've got, let's see, I believe that is John with the put out. It was John Margist with that put out on Parker.
Yeah, Parker doesn't have the speed he used to have. Of course, John Parker's a Hall of Famer, and at one time he was one of the top run scorers in all of beep ball. But and he can still hit, but not quite that quick step to the base. No, not anymore. And so one out.
Yeah, you had Casey sliding in over there to all the way from left to back up Tyler, but it ended up being John. So this brings Tim Cyphers up to bat. A little hop there at home plate as he swings the bat up over the shoulder.
Tim Cyphers came up with the Boston Renegades.
Oh, that was a late swing there.
Cyphers had a career year last year, hit over 400 at the World Series, and he's really sort of come into his own with the Hurricanes. He's a regular starter now, really for the first time in his career.
Quick lick there. on his gloves. Bat up at the ready. It's a little bit low under the swing.
Cyphers actually appeared in 2 championship games with 2 different teams. He was on the losing end of both of them. He was with Boston in 16 and the Bayou City Heat in 2018.
It's going to be a low bouncer short into left. You know Casey's going to be right there, and he has that.
Ground balls are going to get picked up by this Philly Fire defense, and they've got, like I said, they got a heartbreaker in left field there with Justin Rhines. Solid up the middle with Margist. If you're going to get the Fire, you're going to want to get them to right field if you can.
Yeah. We've already got that fixed. Thank you.
2 outs, a 6-0 lead for the Philly Fire. They could use a run from Marquez here.
They could really use some numbers up on the board. He tosses here back and forth as John stays back. Now he's being brought up to the plate. A stretch high over the head, center of the back, before bringing
Thank you. Play ball.
tap at home plate. Bat high up over the ear. High swing, ball's a little low under that. High smacking, going to be very foul out on the third base side, at least a good 40 feet out.
Well, that was the most solid contact for the Hurricanes of the game so far, but he was early. The Hurricanes have run-scoring potential. They scored 20 runs yesterday against Bayou City, and from what I understand, they got a lot of them early. I only caught the last few batters of that game because we were doing a game here.
It's going to stay. It stayed fair until after, so it's way far on the third base side, first base side. He is safe. That gives them their run. Might give them a little potential to add a few more, make this a repeat occurrence.
Nice hit. Opposite field with that. Hurricanes on the board at 6-1.
And that stayed fair until just past first base before slightly going, so they definitely had a long way to go to get that ball. This is going to bring Willie Harrelson up.
Harrison may be the fastest player on this team. Well, Alex Quick, who's on deck, he's pretty quick too.
We're set the field. Bases, please. Thank you.
So this is the speed portion of their lineup.
Having an issue with third. Following the wire up to the connection. Now it is on.
Bases, please.
First
Thank you.
and third, both running.
Play ball.
Willie bringing the bat up gently at the shoulder and now up at the ready. A little bit of a late swing there. Bat back up. A little bit low under the bat. And just barely catching that as it comes up under our feet.
I had some equipment in between me and the ball, so I couldn't help.
Going for that assist. Nice, good, solid connection, but going over to the Phillies bench. She got it on the one bounce rule.
A little bit late on that swing. Contact is there. The Hurricanes look to extend the inning.
That was the Philly scorekeeper who had ended up with the ball in her lap.
Get 0-3.
And it's going to be another little bit late, going right over to the ump. And this is John Gonzalez pitching here for Willie. Spotter has them reset in the field.
Got all three. Good play.
Very late swing on that, and that will make it out, bringing the Fire running back in to their tent to prepare for another setup. And the Hurricanes taking their lineup on the baseline for their blindfold check.
So only one run in that inning for the Hurricanes. It's 6-1 Philly Fire as we head to the second inning.
Fire still making their way in, the last few stragglers there. Getting that blindfold check still. It's almost complete for the Hurricanes, so they can take the field. Definitely have more sun coming up behind us. Lights are almost not needed at this point on the field.
Yes, good morning, everybody. If you're just tuning in, we're getting started a little early this morning due to the suspension of yesterday's game. We picked this one up one batter into the game. Now we're one inning in, and it's 6-1 Philly Fire as the Fire come to bat in the top of the second. Winner of this game will play the winner of the Boston Renegades and Indy Edge in one winner's bracket semifinal.
Going to be Scott Hogwood headed to the plate.
Hogwood struck out his last time up, so he'll be looking to rectify that.
Fix his start here for early this morning. The bat lined up along home plate. So he stands waiting for a couple tosses there. Don't want to get too tightened up and ready. Hurricanes are still setting up out in the field. Looks like we have the last of them all set up out there. A few more practice tosses there with Pat. And Scott says he's ready to go. Have our base check, and the field is ready, so ready for a pitch. Scott pointing his bat straight out at the pitcher. And back up at the ready. Hard hit far into left. He is safe easily. It's like nobody was even after that ball.
That was a no-doubter for Hogwood. He straightened out whatever the problem was with the strikeout in the first inning because he just mashed that. And it's 7-1.
So that
Philly
was
Fire.
PJ back there, out there far into left, going after that. There was no way he was getting that into time. Scott had a good, solid blast behind that, pushing it very far out into the very far left. So we have Nick is getting his batting gloves on tight before coming on up to home plate here. 6-1.
Should be 7 now.
I've got 6 also. Am I off one?
Yep, that was their 7th run.
This is Nick getting that base check. He wants first again.
First again.
Said he is ready. He's got.
It's because one of them was yesterday. So we did confirm it is 7-1.
And a little bit low under that swing. And he's taking that pass. And exhales. And it's going to pop right up at the scorekeepers.
Hit the tent.
Just barely over the edge of the top of the tent.
Just to our left. On when they foul it straight back like that, that means they were right on it. The timing's good. Just missed it.
And this one low, he is going to be out. This will bring Casey up in his red shorts and red socks and blue and white Nike shoes. Baseball cap on backwards. He's definitely ready to try to repeat. Stretching out the knees there with a couple quick squats. Arching of the back.
We're setting the field. Bases, please.
That was the 4th strikeout already of the game for the Philly Fire, and if there is one concern for the Fire, it is that they want to try to keep the strikeouts down.
And taking a pass on that one. Casey does stand a little bit further back from the plate than most batters. I think he really steps into that swing. A hard center pop up. Far out. He is going to be safe.
That was crushed. How do you like to have a 6th place hitter like that? That's the last guy in the lineup doing that.
That was a solid powerhouse hit there. Beautiful arch to that, like a rainbow. Running out to get the ball, bringing it back in.
Man, did he rock that ball. He has deceptive power. I mean, when you think of Casey Krause, you think of defense first, but he's a very underrated hitter.
It was a nice hit.
Goodness gracious.
It was perfectly placed. Beautiful arch.
That's the
Back up with Justin.
8th run of the game on the board now for the Fire. It's 8-1. They've scored every time they put the ball in play. All of their outs have been by strikeout.
And another center. This is going to be a shorter pop-up. Bounced off of Alex. I think he is safe. I believe not a collision, but yeah, Alex was running over there from left field to center to get it. Bounced right off his chest. He's still feeling his chest a little bit there, right up underneath the neck, where it bounced right off of him.
So this is danger time now for the Houston Hurricanes. This game's starting to get away from them a little bit. It's 9-1, still only 1 out.
You got
Top
John
of the second.
Parker, who's also running forward for that ball up and still getting back into place. So this is going to bring Tyler back up to bat. Spotter still checking to make sure Alex is okay. Still feeling his chest there a little bit.
Justin Ryan's already 3 for 3 in this game.
Tyler doing his little pointing of his bat toward the bases as they go off. A quick inhale and he is ready. Ball just over the bat. It's going to be a little bouncing grounder over onto last. Alex is trying to get in position. It is just past his hand. He's slowed it down, but he is already there and safe. Just have the spotter giving some instruction to Alex there.
Now, you don't have time for all that. You've got to be clean. He maybe needed to be a little more aggressive there, I think. It's just they're scoring in multiple different ways, the Fire are. They're doing it with some speed on some ground balls, and then they've hit some
Popping
really good
up.
shots. Yep. And they've got 10 runs already on the board here in the top of the second inning.
Definitely makes it hard to predict, when a team is changing back and forth from line drives and grounders and pop-ups. This brings John up to the plate.
We've talked about this before in previous games. Sometimes all the defense needs is to get that first put out to sort of settle down. The Hurricanes haven't gotten that yet. There's been 4 strikeouts and 10 runs, essentially. And Margist is the only one in the Fire lineup who hadn't gotten it going yet. He's struck out twice. And
definitely going to be eager to get his teeth into this one.
Yeah, if not for this game, they need it for later in this tournament. They're going to need John Margist, so they need to straighten that out, him and Pat Krause. He's one of his better hitters.
Yep, getting that set up. It's going to be right, popping back over to our ump, just to the right. Put his hand up to stop that ball, so it wasn't hitting him.
Well, that's a start. There was a lot of clean swing and miss in his first 2 at-bats, and on the first pitch, he fouls it off. So they're headed the right direction. Yeah.
Ready, pitch.
And it's going to be a line drive over left. Alex needs to line up. It bounced clear over his body. He had his arms out to stop it, but that is going to be another run for the Fire. They're just pounding that short left right there.
Well, there you go for Margist. Now everybody in the Philly Fire lineup has scored at least once already this game, and it is now 11-1. Still only 1 out. The only out of the inning was a Nick Silver strikeout. There's been 4 straight runs since.
And this is bringing Scott Hogwood back up. Definitely no slouch on his way to the base.
First base, please.
And third. Seems to be an issue with third base. Up, got the wire connection going.
First base, please. Thank you.
And both of them running good. And Scott ready. He's got his bat pointed straight at the pitcher as he swings that back up over the shoulder.
Ready, pitch.
Ouch! A power line driver right down the center past John Parker, who jumped out in front of it. It is going to be another safe run. There was no hesitation on Scott's. There was no swerve. It was straight to the base. Yeah, John Parker launched his body out to try to stop that, but it was going so fast.
That was a line drive shot, and on these fields, which are running kind of fast, line drives are almost as good as fly balls, because when they hit the ground, they just roll and roll and roll.
Or they're going so fast, they're just plowing either over, past, or bouncing so hard off the players. The one that bounced off Alex's chest earlier must have gone a good 20 feet. This brings Nick up to the plate. At first and third.
So the Fire have matched the 6 innings they score in the first with another 6 here in the second, and they're not done yet with 1 out.
And it's going to be a little low under the swing.
Set, ready, pitch.
And it's going to be a solid hit out right almost to Alex. Went over his hip, past John Parker's arms. He is going to be safe. PJ with the catch up, but too late. We're entering dangerous territory of that 12-run rule.
Well, not only that, but now that guarantees with only 1 out and Krause coming up that Justin Rhines is going to get another at-bat in this inning. They haven't gotten him out yet. 7 on the board now in the second inning. It's 13-1, and the Houston Hurricanes are looking for answers. And the Philly Fire are really working that area of the field there. Alex Quick and John Parker and PJ, they're getting worked.
Yeah, that ball was just bouncing off of everybody out there. It was straight. It was not bouncing back and forth, but it was not slowing down at all. Having an issue with third. And now we have it going. This is Casey. Casey at the bat. taking a pass. And another one right out there and to left, just past Alex Quick. PJ's trying to pick it up, bounce off his knees, and that is going to be another run. They are destroying that left field.
They are on fire, and the Houston Hurricanes have not been able to put them out. Still no putouts in this game for the Houston Hurricanes, as now the Fire are 3 times complete through their batting order. 14 runs on the board. Still only 1 out in the second.
Starts over with Justin back up to the bat with his blue headband. Got his bat setting resting easy on home plate as he gets that base check. White gloves, swinging bat up over the shoulder. It's going to be a little under the bat for a strike. Good, solid connection. It's going to be very short in center, rolling back just barely past the pitcher's line. And he is already on it before they are even close to the ball. They weren't even 20 feet from that ball, DB. That is just demoralizing for their defense.
Well, and they're in real tough territory now. They've given up 8 straight runs since there's been an timeout, Houston Hurricanes. They finally take a timeout to try to stop the bleeding here. It's 15-1 in the top of the second, folks.
Trying to regroup out in the field. A quick huddle there for the Hurricanes. They're going to have to get their heads in the game. They need to buckle down, go after that ball a little bit more aggressively, and to slow it, kind of get their hands on it and control it and keep it from bouncing around.
Well, and they had some chances early in this inning with some ground balls that they just couldn't pick up in time. Now, these last few balls have been stroked pretty well, as the Fire are looking to put the Hurricanes away early.
They're still huddling up out there in the field. You have to wonder what's going through their minds. Are they tired? Are they exhausted? Is it just the mental of so many runs against them and the repeated misses on defense? They have to straighten around whatever the problem is, get it turned around, focused. You can hear the spotter out there kind of telling them what they need to do, slapping their hands. You've got to get a hold on it. You've got to get down there. You've got to get a hold of that ball. You've got to huddle up, hands all in the center. Let's go back out there and play some defense.
He did once the lights went out and the sun came up. Yeah.
Well, and you know, it's also tough when you're coming off a win like they had in a rivalry game against your in-town rivals, and you win that game as sort of the Cinderella team, and then you're told you can't play until early the next morning. And then you come out and you've got a team like the Philly Fire that have just been red hot. It's a tough situation.
Smacking the balls all over left field, just tearing them apart out there.
And it's been everybody in their lineup. It hasn't just been one or two.
It's been the entire batting group.
And Justin Rhines, for example, he's already 4 for 4 out of that leadoff spot. We're only in the second inning.
We have another yawn there from Tyler as he waits at home plate. Not sure if he's tired or if he's just bored and wants to hurry up and smack that ball again.
Well, this has been a fairly lengthy defensive timeout here. I think Kemp Price wants to try to get him going here now.
Just trying to get things going. We have to get our volunteer back out in the field here. They came up for a quick drink also on that timeout. Defense doing a little talking there among themselves, trying to chant each other up. And a few tosses there with Pat. As Tyler smiles waiting at home plate. Very relaxed. does not seem stressed.
Tyler doesn't get stressed about anything. You know what? Tyler won his first championship at 14 years old, or 15, something like that. I don't even think he was in high school yet when the Thunder won in 2016 with all those young guns. And by the time he reached his 20th birthday, he had won 5 world championships. So
nice to see the kids get started into this sport at a young age.
You forget, because we're so used to seeing them for so long, how young he still is. Tyler's 22.
Set, ready, pitch.
Oh, over the bat.
And it was easy for Tyler to get lost in the shuffle because he was playing on that left side behind his brother, Eric Rodriguez, who's probably the best player in the sport.
It's going to be a high pop-up about 80 feet dropping. I'm not sure that is, yep, that is going to be foul. He's already at first base, just kind of slowed down, ran around it as a U-turn. He's going to have to come back. That was probably about 5 to 8 feet short of actually staying fair. Bounced probably about a foot short of the line and then kind of rolled back. But it was up there about 80 feet high.
And he'll walk it all the way back. That'll get your blood flowing a little bit in the morning.
Yeah, he's just taking a nice, easy walk back. He was already almost to the base, just U-turned around it, slowed down.
As I was saying, Tyler was kind of playing in the shadow of his older brother just because Eric is who he is, and Tyler was playing a lot of that time off of his left shoulder. But boy, he's really making a name for himself now with the Philly Fire. Not that he didn't with the Thunder. I mean, he was a starter and he was a key contributor. And we could make a whole highlight film full of plays that he made over those years. It's just tough when your big bro is the best in the game.
Oh, bounced down, hit up his knee, and then straight down again. He is wearing knee pads, so hopefully that kept his knee from being hurt. Doesn't seem like it's bothering him at all. He's smiling. And an exhale. Oh, it's going to be low under that, and that is going to be an out.
That's a rare strikeout. I was talking about how good Tyler's contact is, and a couple of those were foul balls. That wasn't a clean strikeout, but a strikeout nonetheless. That breaks up the string of 8 straight runs on the board.
Bringing John up to bat. He's readjusting his laces on his shoe, tucking them in.
So the Hurricane now are 1 out away from getting out of this inning. And it's been a long one. Mar just 1 for 3. He scored his last time, struck out his first 2 times.
Quick rotation of the bat up over the shoulder. It's going to be a nice pop-up over into center. Right just past the... Oh, he stopped it with his body, and he did get him. That is...
Number 3.
That was 17. That was Roy Hutchins out there in the center. Come up right behind Alex. It bounced down.
Well, that's a fine play there in the first put out of the game for the Hurricane defense, and that ends the top of the second. But a lot of bloodshed by the Philly Fire there in the top of the second inning as they put 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 on the board by my count, and they lead 15-1 as we go to the bottom of the second. So now the Hurricanes are going to need a few runs to avoid an early 12-run rule here.
Absolutely. That's kind of unheard of here this early in the game. Not impossible. We do have the blindfold check there for all of the Philly Fire before they headed out to the field. Got them ready, but yet they are definitely going to be interested in holding the Hurricanes to keep them from breaking out of that 12-run rule.
Well, it's a 14-run spread right now, so the Hurricanes need 3.
Just to stay alive.
Just to stay alive and not have to continue batting the rest of their at-bats.
It'll have a start off. That'll be Alex Quick will be up to bat finally for the Hurricanes.
Alex Quickett is in his second season. He was a member of the BCS Outlaws. The BCS Outlaws late in the season had to pull out of the World Series. So Alex Quick, who's a good-looking young player, him and Roy Hutchins came on to the Hurricanes, and BCS will be back next year. There's just an unfortunate situation where they lost two of their volunteers, tragically passed away within a few days of one another last month, and BCS made the decision not to compete in the World Series this year. That and their leadoff hitter is out as well. And so the Hurricanes were the beneficiaries of picking up a couple of BCS players, and this is one of them, Alex Quick.
It's going to be a foul ball over into the Phillies' tent. He did get connection, though, on that first swing. Ball coming back up to the pitcher as Alex resets up at the plate. Looks like just a little bit tense there. And getting a nice another nick on it, but dropping straight down.
Well, he's all over it, and he can run like the wind, so all he's got to do is put it in play.
It's getting
There
a
we
nice
go.
solid thunker there, short and to
It's a
left.
race with Casey
It's going to be a
Krause.
race. He's already got it, though. Casey had his fingers stretched out for it, but like you said, Alex was quick, and he was down there and nothing.
Wow, you got to be quick to beat out Casey Krause on a short ball. That's impressive. And that's a run the Hurricanes desperately needed, Rosina.
This does bring Roy up, and definitely a excellent sprint right there. I'm not sure if he was in on the fastest man contest, but he was definitely doing business to get down there to third.
I don't think he was this year. I think they had Willie Harrison competing in that. But maybe he ought to be next year, because that was a very quick base run for Mr. Quick. Now Roy Hutchins got his start up in Fort Worth.
Waiting to see on third. Wire connection there. Roy has his mask on that has eyes printed on the outside of it. And the ball just under the swing. He's got a hold on it that's up very far up over his shoulder. Hands almost at shoulder height. And the ball again underneath the bat.
He needs to get the ball up and try to get the top of the bat, because Roy is not the fastest base runner in the world.
Higher, and it's going to be foul on the third base side, but a heavy hit. Could hear the thunk on that. Went all the way to about 8 to 10 feet outside of third base before it dropped.
Well, yeah, that's better. He just now needs to straighten it out. 15-2. Philly Fire, bottom of the second. Hurricanes up to bat.
He's trying to get a better correction there on his home plate. He's standing way up behind. They're moving him up forward just a little there. Getting a piece of it. It's going to drop a little grounder right behind the pitcher. Casey's over there, already
Casey's
scooped
got
it.
that, yeah.
And he is out. Casey had that.
He got beat on the last one by Alex Quick. He wasn't about to get beat on that one, and there's the first out of the inning.
Yeah, he knew exactly where that ball was. It wasn't even laying down. He went right over there, just sat down basically right on the ball and scooped it up. This brings John Parker up to bat for the Hurricanes as they finally make that wrap around to the top.
John Parker hit a pretty good ball his last time up. I believe it was Margis that put him out.
Just couldn't get to the base in time.
John Parker won a championship in 2007 with the Kansas All-Stars. He was one of the cornerstones of that team.
It's going to be a strike on that. He has a lower swing.
Parker has been playing since the 90s.
And just getting a piece of that as it rolls right up over the top of his bat.
John Parker also helps spearhead some of the league's fundraising efforts, so he's very involved in the sport, even as he reaches the twilight of what has been a Hall of Fame playing career for John Parker, really. And he was an underrated defender, too.
Taking a pass.
John Parker's one of those, if you know, depending on who you asked, if you set up an all-time history beat ball team, he might be on it.
Almost swinging himself around there. Feeling home plate with his cleats. Low draw over the plate and back up over the shoulder. And that is going to be another out. Strike out for John Parker. He's getting a quick talk there with the pitcher.
You don't want to strike out your leadoff hitter right now. That's sort of the last thing that they needed. And now it's going to be up to Tim Cyphers. Otherwise, we're going to have a run rule on our hands here.
So Tim is up at the plate. A couple little traditional hops that he does. It's going to be a very important possible run here for the Hurricanes. Said he is ready. And it's going to be right out into right field, but Tyler is over there. He's just got in. He is out. So this is going to be very interesting now to see how many of these runs that they can try to get out of these.
That's
these
the drama
outs that
now.
Are left for them.
And they're going to take the 5-minute water break. And then what will happen is we are in the 12-run rule now. And so the Philly Fire defense will go back out onto the field. And the Houston Hurricanes will continue to bat until they either use up all of their remaining outs, which they have 12 left, or tie or take the lead. So yeah, that's the drama now, to see how many runs the Hurricanes can get back. They're chasing 13 right now, but of course, under the run rule, if they do tie or take the lead, then the Philly Fire gets all of their at-bats that they didn't use to try to win the game. So it's going to be very difficult for the Houston Hurricanes here now.
Well, it will be difficult. It is early enough in the game that they do still have quite a few outs left to run through to accomplish that if possible. It's better than happening late, like in, say, the 5th inning versus. So at least they have a little bit of room to work with. Here we have John Parker talking to the pitcher out there and coach. Let's see.
Well, what I do now, if I'm the Houston Hurricanes, is throw caution to the wind here and get all of my top sticks in the lineup. Worry about if you have to play defense again when that time comes around, if it does. But right now, you're chasing runs, and so if I'm them, because here's the thing, the Philly Fire hitting it to their front line isn't going to work. Tyler Rodriguez and Casey Krause are just, they're too good, and so the Hurricanes have to find batters or have to find ways to get the ball over or around that front line, because it's going to be tough to get through them. It's just tough.
You got the Philly Fire all standing up, staying limber as they have their drinks. When you got the Hurricanes mostly sitting down here, we have John Parker coming to check something with the scorekeepers. But there's definitely, at least they have a few outs to work with. It's just a matter of can they get that done. It seems like the Philly defense is kind of shutting them down. Sun definitely is up and out now. On the horizon, all our field lights are out. Still have a good breeze coming on, and just a very few clouds on the horizon here in Norman, Oklahoma this morning, as we are out here early to finish up that game from yesterday that was shut down because of the heat advisory.
Well, it was a heat advisory all week, and then what ended up happening is the National Weather Service in Norman issued an excessive heat warning for heat indices at or exceeding 110 degrees. At that point, the protocol is that sports and recreational activity at the parks are supposed to cease. And so the word got around. It took a little while for the tournament director to get to our field, because we're clear over here on field 2 on the featured live stream game of the day field. But at that point, one batter into the game, there was just no choice when the excessive heat warning was issued, and we're still under that excessive heat warning until 9 o'clock tonight. And so we're out here early to do 2 things: one, stay on schedule, but second, try to beat the worst of the heat, so that in the event that we get to that point again at some point this afternoon, we've got as much ball under our belts as possible. And then that's the reason for that 9 p.m. start time as a backup plan, if necessary, is because that's the time when the excessive heat warning would be expired. And so thanks to having lights at the park and the flexibility of Trent Brown and Mr. Gillis and the folks at the park and Visit Norman, they have accommodated, if necessary, a 9 p.m. game time tonight, should we get into a situation where they have to suspend action again today.
So we have both teams staying there, getting, looks like a lot of hydration under them, staying ready. Might not be hot yet today, but expending all this energy early, definitely keeping that hydration in it to prepare for the rest of the day to come, as it is going to be heating up. Also apply sunscreen. Thank you to all those volunteers. We also need you to stay hydrated and safe. We can't do this game without all of our scorekeepers, our umpires, our base operators, and our base umpires, and our out there in the far field volunteers. So thank you for everyone.
Let's rattle some names off there while you're mentioning that, because we couldn't do it without these folks. Brad Farmer, Shake Conway, Dave Taylor, David Robert, Glenda Cole, who's our scorekeeper for this game, head umpire Jason Price and his son Jaden, and our umpire for this game, Kemp Price, John Lykowski, Jordan Simpson, Karen Lykowski, Kevin Miller, Linda Skaggs, Mark Hudson, Melanie Taylor, Mike Woodard, Missy Lykowski, Peggy Hurt, Ronnie Higdon, as well as Sylvia Redmond, our tournament director Cassie Hopkins, John Stark and Glenn Hopkins, Knox Ward, all of the equipment folks, our social media specialist John Lykowski Jr. And I want to get back to Cassie Hopkins, because for those of y'all listening in, what ended up happening yesterday is there was an emergency meeting at 7 o'clock last evening to decide how we were going to handle the scheduling situation. Cassie led it. They had a plan. They made the contacts, they got everything in place, and then they briefed everybody in about 10 or 15 minutes yesterday on what we were going to do, and she did a phenomenal job. And it's not unprecedented we've had delays. It is unprecedented, as far as I can find, in the 47 years of the World Series, that we've ever had a delay due to heat.
Definitely been rain and weather and lightning delays.
We've had rain delays, lightning delays. We've had protest delays before, but we've never had a heat delay until this year. So well done by the tournament committee handling that. And congratulations to Cassie Hopkins on being re-elected tournament director. She'll get another 2 years. As will Steve Guerra, league secretary, who's elected to another 2-year term. And Jason Frazier, welcome to the NBBA board, the CEO of Mind's Eye Radio, who will be hosting our World Series the next 2 years. Jason is now a board of director, as the election results were announced late last night, about 9 p.m.
Okay, so we do have the Philly Fire are taking the line over here on the first base side to get the blindfold checks here. Ready to get this game underway and to see if the Hurricanes can catch up.
If they can bat their way out of the run rule, we'll see. They've got 12 outs to work with, and they are chasing 13 runs. It's 15-2.
It is possible They do have the outs to work with. It's just a matter of the Philly Fire playing some defense that has been shutting them down.
It has been done. It's been done at this tournament already. The Indy Thunder had the Chicago Comets in the run rule in a pool play game on Tuesday afternoon. The Comets hit their way out of it, came back, actually took the lead, and then very quickly when the Thunder came back up to bat, they tied the game and then won it and dispatched them.
But they still came out of that initial slump that they had been in for the Comets.
That's correct, and I think that was, they told me, a 17 or 18 run differential when they came up to bat and had to bat their way out of it. So it can happen, and let's just see here. The Philly Fire defense, though, especially on the left side and short, is exceptional.
So we have a new volunteer out there, so our umpire is going over some instruction with them as they head out to the far center of the field. Philly Fire still up on the line to have their blindfolds checked. Most of the Hurricanes still sitting on their bench as they await their chance at bat to try to conquer and improve on what they've been doing. I'm not sure as far as batting wise. I think it's more of just getting some more contact and getting those balls out past that first line of defense, as you mentioned.
Well, if I am the Houston Hurricanes, I'm going to want to try to get the ball to right field. Keep it away from Casey Krause. Keep it away from Justin Rhines out there, and even John Margist. And I'm not saying that it's a good idea really to start picking on Nick Silver either or Scott Hogwood, but if you can get the ball to right field, you stand a better chance. They scored one of their runs to the opposite field, so that might be the idea. But again, if I'm the Hurricanes, I get my hardest hitting batters, even if they're not my fastest runners, and I try to hit it to their back line out there because it's just not going to work with Tyler on the right side and Casey on the left side. That's about as good a combination as you're going to find in the game. I'd put that up there.
John has been backing them from the center, has been backing them both up tremendously. He has been over behind them on every single play.
That's a dangerous triangle, and they've stopped a lot of balls up the middle and short and playing it that way. All three of those players were all-stars last year. They were all at our all-star showcase down in San Antonio. Margist, Rodriguez, and Krause. And
definitely playing the shutdown game there up short.
Two of them were top performers, so we know two of them will be back next year. This year, two of those three, Margist and Tyler. And I sense that Casey Krause will be joining them, and probably Justin Rhines too with the season he's having.
So the blindfold check is complete. They are making their way out to the field, all in same positions that they have been. Let's see.
If anybody has any scoreboard updates at this early hour from any of the other games going on you want to send in, go on ahead and send them in. The Edge we're pulling away from Boston. That's the winner of this game. Who they'll meet is likely to be the Indy Edge. And Gateway and Indy are going on. The Indy Thunder going on right now, and also New Jersey and San Antonio. Those are on the winner's side. There's also playback games, elimination games going on as well as this tournament continues. And that was not a 5-minute water break, folks, and that is part of the problem we've been having here with these games lasting a little longer is these 5-minute breaks have not been 5 minutes. They've been longer
They've been longer. And this does bring John up to bat for the Hurricanes as they try to work out of this 12-run rule. Bat up and at the ready. Very high swing. The ball is just under the bat. Up and centered over the head, and then bringing it down just over the top of his head. And barely under the bat on that one. A little bit closer.
You don't really want to change anything if you're the Houston batters. I mean, you're in the run rule, but
Oh, catching the tip of that, just rolling over the top, straight into the catcher's mitt. And making contact, but that's going to be short left, and Casey is over there. He's laying down, and he's already scooped it up, and that is out. That's using up one of the outs that they had to work with. Tripping over third base as he comes back.
routine for Casey. Playing Pepper with Casey Krause is not a good idea.
So it's going to be Willie Harrelson up for the Hurricanes. Setting up his bat at the corner of home plate. His blue and white cleats. Bat at ease up over the shoulder. Field is ready. It's first base, third base. Again, tapping at the front of home plate, double checking his placement. And we are ready. And does make connection, pops right back to the catcher. Finding the front corner of home plate. And just tipping the top and rolling over the top of the bat.
You can't get them all back with one swing. You just got to worry about one at a time.
Solid connection going center right behind. Casey running over for it. So is Tyler. Tyler's going to have this one. That is an easy out. Tyler just scooped that right up. So that is the second out they had to work with.
If the left hand doesn't get you, the right hand will. So that time Tyler made that play. And yeah, these kind of balls just aren't going to work. Not with a team like this.
Yeah, both of them were right there. John right behind him, ready to assist if needed, but totally not needed. Both Casey and Tyler were right on top of that. This does have Alex up at home, hand pointing to first and then third. So that is two of the outs they had. And it's going to be a strike because that goes right over the bat. Making a connection, going to center, just a hair to the right, though. Tyler's going over there. He's a little finding it. He's going to be safe.
Oh, look at that.
He was a little slow on that for Tyler, so that's going to give another run to the Hurricanes, trying to slow down that process. They still have a long ways to go.
So Alex Quick seems to be the exception to the rule. He's hit two short balls. He scored on both of them.
Both of them.
One to
He has
each
got there
side.
just before they got it. He is living up to his name, Alex Quick.
All right, so 3 runs now on the board with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. We are in the run rule. It's 15-3 now. And Roy Hutchins coming to the plate.
Had a kiss to the end of his bat there. Getting connection, flipping right up over behind him, a hair to the left. This time quite a bit underneath the bat. Getting just a tick on that as it goes under the bat. Getting a little bit closer to the pitcher there. He was back a little bit at the far edge of the plate. And that is going to be the third out for them.
So that'll end the bottom of the third, and under the run rule, we'll go straight into the bottom of the fourth. 9 outs left to record for the Fire defense.
And we are going to have a sub here on the Philly Fire in the red. So we are going to have, let's see, I believe that's Dakota going in. Oh, no, Gina is going in.
Yeah, Gina Natoli.
Let's see where she is going.
Veteran of the women of our league, and unfortunately, that's the other thing we didn't mention. That's they were a casualty of the scheduling change. The Wool game was canceled last night. There are no plans to make it up. That's unfortunate for them, but there's just really no way to fit it in the schedule. That was supposed to be
There's
last
also been
evening.
a sub in the batting for the Hurricanes, as we have Juan Munaz going in. He will be up to bat.
So we can pencil him in. Is he coming in for Parker? Yep.
Yes.
He's coming in for John Parker. So both teams start to empty their bench a little bit and get some subs in. And of course, if you're the Philly Fire, you're thinking in this winter bracket now as you advance, you might not get too many opportunities to get some of your reserves in any of these games, as the intensity
only
continues to build, and they're going to get a shot. It sounds like at the defending world champions next.
Okay, and Juan is a left-handed batter for the Hurricanes, getting first base and third.
So Juan Munoz now.
And it's going to be a short little that is going to stay foul as he comes back. It was to the left, but foul. About 30 feet out. Orientating with home plate there. And ready for the pitch. Exhale. And a little bit high over the swing. It's got a lower swing. And it's going to be a solid right into the center. There's Casey. He overshot over it. It's going right behind him. He's going to... And they have it before he got safe. That was number 17, John, with the putout.
Margis picking up Casey. That was one Casey missed, but not enough speed by Munoz to get to the base in time. That's all.
But definitely John, as I said, has been right there behind him, ready to back them up. This is going to be Ronnie Bellamy up to bat next
Another
for the Hurricanes. So we have another substitution here.
Wait a minute, is this Bellamy? Let's see.
Pretty sure this is
71 or 23 here?
I think. Well, I can't see the number, but I'm pretty sure it's Ronnie.
All right. I think we're going to see Hunter Mouton 23 at some point here too.
Let's see if she'll turn her back just a little bit, but I'm pretty sure this is.
Well, she's the only female player on their roster, so.
Quick conversation here between catcher and pitcher.
Field, bases, please. Thank you.
First and third. She's right up on top of home plate. She's backing off just a hair. Very high, nice short, a little hit there into short right as Tyler runs up for that boy. He's got it, and that is out. That is Tyler Rodriguez with that put out on Ronnie Bellamy.
2 outs now.
Nice connected hit though.
2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Under a run rule. 7 outs left to go for the game. Still 15-3.
And this is John Marquez up for the Hurricanes, trying to dig their way out.
I believe Marquez has one of their 3 runs. Alex Quick has the other 2.
quiet, please. First again for me. Thank you. Play ball.
Bat up high over the head. And now down. And the ball low underneath the swing. A good 3 inches under. And just barely catching a tick on that as it goes under the bat. And that one is going to be a strike, still underneath the bat.
He hasn't touched the ball with that bat yet.
No, he had a tick.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, that one foul. And, oh, he almost hit the pitcher, barely bent his back out of the way. But there's Casey he was already lined up in front of that, just waiting for it to roll into his hands.
That's one of those where you almost wish it hits the pitcher because it's rolling right out to one of the best defenders in the country in Casey Krause.
So we do have that we have to take that water break
Well,
after fourth. So they're coming in for that hydration break.
It's a policy, and I don't believe there's any exceptions, including if you're in a 12-run rule and it's only 80 degrees outside. But so we'll take another 5-minute water break, and I'll take a moment to mention some sponsors, and it all starts with the City of Norman and Visit Norman, Trent Brown and Mayor Larry Heikela and all of those folks. They've been very good to us. Thank you to the City of Norman, Oklahoma, and Visit Norman. Jersey Mike's provided sandwiches for everybody out here yesterday, and they've been very good to us over the years. Thanks to Jersey Mike's. The Delta Gamma Foundation, they made a generous donation to the National Beat Baseball Association that allowed us to help out some of our umpires and scorekeepers and other essential officials. Thanks to the Delta Gamma Foundation. And New View, Oklahoma. New View, Oklahoma, they do some blind industries and manufacturing. They do a lot of things. They're, I think, similar to, if you remember, Envision out there in Wichita, Kansas a couple years ago. So New View has been helping out with volunteers and logistical support and things like that, thanks to New View, Oklahoma.
So we do have the Hurricanes have used up 6 of their 12 outs that they had, and they have not gotten another run on the board to try to take up that gap. So they have 6 more to work with, and they're still working at the same deficit. So we'll see if things continue. It's a good way to get their subs in for a little bit of batting at the World Series, as we've seen a couple of them come up, which both of them actually making contact. Just not getting to the base in time, but they are getting good contact on that ball.
We should mention, we've been talking a lot about Casey Krause today. Casey Krause had a double play yesterday. That's a new rule the league implemented just this year. If a ball is caught cleanly on one hop, it is considered a double play and counts for 2 outs or the end of the inning. But 2 outs for record-keeping purposes. Casey Krause has done it. He's the second one at the World Series this year to do it. Drew Burnett from Austin was the other one. So we've had 2 double plays already. We have had now a total of 6 home runs. I think we have exceeded already the record for a single World Series in home runs. We had 4 on Tuesday, and then we had 2 more yesterday. David Smith is now your all-time single World Series home run leader. He's already hit 3, as he hit another one yesterday to add to the 2 that he hit on Tuesday. Dustin Youngren got 1 on Tuesday. Corey White, this is a name that's synonymous with home runs. If anybody remembers Wichita in 2021, he hit 1 on Tuesday. And then Christian Thaxton of the Boston Renegades, after we saw him almost do it in our game yesterday on a ball that was dead
ball,
almost cleared the line. He hit a clean one yesterday early in that Indy Edge game. So that's Thaxton's second of his career at the World Series.
We haven't heard of one from Justin Holland, but you kind of
yet.
wonder if he's going to be itching to get one now that David has overtaken his 2. And of course, hasn't been 2 in 1 game yet today or this year, but he still has David has beaten him on numbers so far total for the week. So
Holland still has a monopoly on a single game multiple home runs. He's the only one who's done that. But yeah, 3 in the series and 4 on the season now for David Smith because he got one in Bolingbrook.
He's definitely on a hot run. Somebody definitely to keep track of and watch. He's really been working hard, and it shows.
He has. He's been moving up our unofficial non-NBBA player rankings and so forth. And David Smith, he'll be in San Antonio again this year anyway. He was a top performer from last year, so he gets an automatic invitation. But the kind of year he's having, he would have been there anyway. And of course, he was tied for the top batting average last year in Beaumont at the 2022 World Series. He tied with Joe McCormick. They both hit 800 for the series. Can you imagine hitting 800 at a World Series? That means you're scoring 4 out of every 5 times up at the plate.
All right, we have the call from the umpire for players back to ready to play.
So we'll be moving on to the bottom of the 5th here in the run rule. Houston Hurricanes continue to bat their string of outs. They've got 6 left, and they're still chasing 12 runs. It's 15-3. As the Philly Fire inch ever closer to a semifinal matchup with the Indy Edge. We will have a semifinal game, a winner's bracket semi, coming up after this one.
At 8:30.
To be determined. We're not sure who the participants will be yet, but we will have one of the two. Of course, the winners of those 2 games then would play tomorrow at 11:30 and the winner of that game is on to the championship in this double elimination format.
So we are going to have some more subs here for Philly. It sounds like there's 2 more as they are up on the first base line having blindfolds checked.
Looks like we're going to get Dakota Hogwood in as one of them, number 4. And
possibly
is that Jace Russell, their rookie? Yeah, he won the fastest runner competition on the males division back on Monday. So Jace Russell already sort of making a name for himself on the national stage as the Fire are emptying their bench now.
They're now headed out into the field to take positions as we have Willie Harrison up, standing at ease at home plate, waiting for the defense to set up. And remember, they have 6 outs left to work with. They have the 5th and the 6th inning to go here. Willie having a quick yawn here as he waits. It is still a little bit early for some of these players after a long day yesterday. And for some of them, potentially a very long day today.
Yeah, winning helps in this double elimination format. If you keep winning, you play less games. If you drop one of these in the early rounds, it's a long road back. Ask the San Antonio Jets last year, who lost a quarterfinal game to the Austin Blackhawks and had to play 4 games on Friday to climb back to the championship. And they still would have had to win twice on Saturday to capture it. They didn't. They fell to the Indy Edge in the first game. But in 2017, the Indy Thunder proved it could be done. They lost to the Jets 22-20 in a quarterfinal game and then proceeded to win 9 straight games, including 2 on Championship Saturday.
Yep.
And to defend at the time, that was their 2nd championship.
Okay, field is set now.
So it can be done, but the preferred way to do it is just keep on winning.
Thank you. Play ball.
Willie Harrison head down at home plate. Now looking up. And that's going to be a strike because that's low below the bat. And it's going to be low under the swing again for another strike.
Tyler Rodriguez was a big part of that run I just mentioned in Florida, that with the 9 straight wins show it could be done. He helped close the door on Taiwan.
Catching a little tip of that off the top and rolling off the bat. And I do know that the Jets game, whatever game they were playing, if they had one this morning, they were done. I see them all kind of milling around in the field past us.
And that makes sense because that game was the furthest along when the stoppage occurred yesterday.
Taking a pass on that.
And if the Jets have come over here, then that is a pretty, or if they're making their way here, that's a pretty good indication that they won that game. And they will await the winner of the Indy Thunder and Gateway Archers.
And another, that's going to be the first art out of that 6, so now they have 5 to work with.
I don't want to start counting chickens again, but how would you like to do another Thunder Jets game, huh?
I would love a Thunder Jets game.
You've done a couple of pretty famous ones, including maybe the most historic game that we've had at a World Series. That featured both of those teams.
Yep.
My
World
goodness.
Series, the home run to win it.
Kevin Simpson's last game as a pitcher. There were a lot of storylines in that game. Also, probably the most infamous double call in the history of the World Series happened in that game also.
And this is Alex Quick. We're going to see if he can make it quick to one of the bases.
Hey, Alex Quick is 2 for 2 today.
Much higher over the pit. They're way under his bat so far.
He has been the one bright spot here for the Houston Hurricanes in what has otherwise been a very disappointing
batting
day.
setup.
Yeah.
It's been a few quick slows out there in the field, but he's been on point at the plate. Oh, getting a connection over there into short right, way over there. Tyler running for it. It's almost on line. Oh, past his hands. I think he missed the base. He's got to come back. He is out. He missed the base. Heartbreaking for Alex Quick. He would have had that. Tyler lost control of it out of his fingers, missed the base. He was there, but overshot.
That's why they teach second effort in this sport, man. What a job by Tyler Rodriguez, though, of staying with that. You know, you're tempted to give up on it when you know a guy's getting, honing in on a base. He just blew right by that base. Unfortunate, and we've mentioned it before, the blessing and the curse of having a lot of speed is, the curse is if you do miss a base, it's harder to come back to it because you got that forward momentum.
And definitely that was running about 6 inches off of that first baseline. Tyler coming all the way over there. It was a wonderfully placed ball. Just fumbled over his fingers, but he recovered it because of the overshot base.
Oh, man.
Brings Roy Hutchins up.
He's a young player, and base running is one of the toughest things to learn in this sport. Ask David Smith about that when you get a chance.
Had a stumble there with the pitchers. Going to start over. A nice pop-up. It's going to be right over Casey's head. Behind him, Dakota's over there backing him up, and she has it. He is out.
That is out
for Dakota Hogwood.
Whoa, baby. Cody comes in the game, I think.
That might be...
Or was that Gina?
I think that is Gina.
Hold on. Let's give credit to the right player.
Yep, that is Gina.
Nice
Gina
play.
with that backup.
And she can do that. You know what? She's a long-time veteran Wool player. Doesn't get a lot of playing time for the Philly Fire because of all of their talent. She was a starter in their first season of existence, so that's not surprising. Nice play, Gina.
Yeah, we have Gina and Dakota are right next to each other there.
Whoa, that got me out of my seat.
Yeah, a nice put out by Gina there.
I talked to Gina yesterday after the games, and she was pretty disappointed that the Wool game got canceled because she was looking forward to that. And so now she's come out and made the most of her opportunity. Nice put out.
Absolutely. This does bring Juan Manat up to bat.
And that is 3 outs now, so we are now to the bottom of the 6th. Is that right? Yes.
Yes. Oh, we have another substitution here. So we've got Justin is coming out.
And you're going to get
who
is 26, if I can find him. Oh, here we go. Cesar Lascano.
Yep, Cesar is coming
Cesar Lascano, who's been a part-time
left
starter for this team this year. So he'll come in.
Okay, this is one. He is a left-handed batter for the Hurricanes. Hurricanes have gotten 1 run on up since the 12-run rule went into effect. See if one can give them another. Getting contact on it. It's going to be bouncing over to the left over there. And you know, Casey just scoops that right up.
Casey's enjoying this, and I'll tell you what, when having played that position before and been in games like this, once you get in the run rule, you can't help thinking if you're on that short left side, no strikeouts. Come on, just hit it to me. Keep hitting it to me, because you start thinking about stuffing some stats there a little bit as you're getting outs to help your team. So now it's not that it's all about you. It's that, all right, we're in the run rule anyway. Just start hitting ground balls to me. Let me get about 10 of these.
We got Ronnie coming up. Again, so far their subs have all made contact, doing good hits, just not getting those runs in. Which is hard to do when you have Casey scooping everything up.
Casey reminds me more of myself when I was a young player, although he's probably already a better hitter than I ever was.
Making short little contact, but that's going to drop
foul.
Short and foul, making it about 15 to 20 feet out.
The way he plays that shortstop position, it makes me smile. It reminds me of because he excels at playing pop-ups. That's how he caught his double play ball yesterday. I was talking to his dad, the pitcher, Pat Krause, after the game, and he told me that the ball was popped way up, and Casey tracked it, got right behind it, and bounced right up to him.
Right under the bat.
So, well, he's doing very well. Not only has he had a ton of putouts already this World Series, he's got a double play, and
she took a pass.
2 outs left.
And that is out. That is one of them. So they are down to 1 left.
This has been all Philly Fire from the outside. They scored 6 runs in the top of the 6th.
Sub in for...
And they have not looked back.
I believe this is Doug Biggins, I think.
23?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think number 8. I couldn't see quite all of it.
Well, I keep hearing the umpire announce 23, and I don't know what he's talking about, but I've heard that a few times now. 23 is Hunter Mouton, so Doug Biggins is number 8.
Set the field, bases please.
At the base check. And bat at the ready. Oh no, this is number 23, so it's not Doug.
All right, that's Hunter Mouton. That's what I thought I heard.
Hunter. Getting the instruction to move the glove from the catcher's placement. And catching a tip on that as it rolls over the top of the bat. Moving, adjusting forward toward the pitcher just a hair. And this time under the bat.
And they're down to their last strike. Philly Fire on the verge of advancing to a semifinals in the undefeated side of the bracket.
Took a pass. I got Casey stretching out in the field just a little. Back at the ready. And that is going to be a strike, and that is out, and that is going to end the game, DB.
So the final score, the Philly Fire 15, the Houston Hurricanes 3. The Fire never trailed.
I think they had 4.
4.
They did get that one.
They got a 4th
after
one?
they had gotten a 4th one.
All right, well, we'll go with 15-4 then. Either way, they never trailed. The game was never really in doubt. They scored 6 runs out the gate, and that was pretty well all she wrote. So the Philly Fire will advance. They will take on, it looks like, the Indy Edge, and the Houston Hurricanes will drop down to the elimination side of the bracket, but they are still alive with one loss.
So
We'll be back for a semifinal game coming up. We think it's going to be the Jets and somebody, but we will let you know. That'll be coming up in probably about a half an hour, Rosina.
Okay, so we have both teams are lined up doing their congratulations. Good team, some good sportsmanship, all shaking hands there as they go across the center of the field, lined up. There's definitely some wonderful scoops up there, and I definitely say that quick. He was very quick to the bases. Twice he outmaneuvered the defense there that maybe should have had him, but he was quick and he got there. The only time he missed that last one is because he overshot the base.
Well, if we had to pick a player of the game, I don't know what's your flavor. Casey Krause, Tyler Rodriguez, Justin Rhines. I don't think they got him out at all, and so you just pick one. They were all fantastic, and the Philly Fire have a lot of momentum. This is a dangerous team, folks.
And so that's going to be the end of this game. I hope you tune in to see us at 8:30.